Yes, SP.
Should we start, Ujjwal? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, members and dignitaries. Welcome to BBF's follow-on session on allocation of client collateral. This session is more towards compliance modalities with the support of team ICCL. We are thankful for ICCL management, Mrs. Devika Shah, Mr. Tushar Ambani, Mr. Piyush Chaurasia and team, and Trupti, Hitesh Shah, Vijayata, Rohana for their valuable time towards the same. Before we begin, may I request Mr. Harin Mehta, BBF Governing Board Member and Treasurer, to present the welcome address. Harin bhai, over to you, please.
Good evening, dear friends. Today, I welcome all of you once again to today's webinar on segregation and monitoring of collateral and at a client level. A special thanks to ICCL team, Devika ji, Tushar ji, for coming here at such a short notice. And special thanks to Piyush ji also for making it possible for us to arrange a compliance-based seminar. Today, we meet here on a special demand of the members. As the today's webinar will cover the complete compliance aspect of the segregation and monitoring of the collaterals. Now, I would like to hand over to SP once again for opening up a Q&A session to the members.
Thank you, Harin bhai. Members, kindly note, this is a Q&A session. You are requested to raise your virtual hand and ask your question. Kindly refrain from typing the question, and it becomes sometimes tedious to read and duplications happen. On that note, we start, please. Usually the first question is, in case of marginal custodial cleared clients, they do not maintain any collateral with brokers as a general practice across the industry, as by EOD, the custodian takes up the trade. However, with regards to the allocation of collateral, in case we do not allocate anything towards such a client, as we cannot estimate the quantum of trade on a given day, and assume that for margin requirement of such a client, prop capital will be blocked, deem allocation, then in that case, would such a deem allocation still be penalized?
In the time of peak margin penalty, the circular went live, and upfront margin collection, that time there was a clarification given by exchanges that in case there is a take up of the trade on the same day, in which case the broker will not require to collect the margin from the client, right, for a CP code client. And in that case, even in the case of the allocation, if you don't allocate, from the risk system perspective, there will be a deemed allocation. However, from the margin penalty, from the short allocation penalty perspective, that penalty will be waived off.
Okay, got it. Cyrus, sir, your question, please.
Is there a notepad file that can be created, a one-line notepad, so that we can currently allocate all clients to pro funds, and it would become simple to just upload this in the extranet so that we don't go into RRM on Monday?
So Cyrus, the format is same. Only thing is that if you are going to do allocate everything to prop, just put one line, that same format which you have been testing. In that, just put everything in the prop. That's all.
Sir, I'm sorry, but because the software people were not ready, I have not tested anything.
So in that case, आप हमारा CSD टीम जो CSD टीम है उनको आप एक मेल डाल दीजिए कि आपका जो भी collateral है to basically put it in the prop, theme prop.
Okay. So
on that basis, the team will do it.
Okay, thank you very much. That will help.
Piyush, a general request from all the members. This is Harin here. So can we do something that can we get an Excel file from the behalf of ICCL as a public notice on the notice board that this is the Excel file you are supposed to upload? We have got the PDF file format, but not all the members will be compatible to make the file format.
So basically, you want a sample file where you can put your member code, value,
exactly.
And then okay, okay. We will try to get that done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Samir ji, your question, please.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So just continuing from the previous two answers only. So the sample file, giving us, please mention the headers also, so we know what to fill in there.
No, the errors, everything has been there in the file form which you are given. You have to only fill it as values, right? If you give the sample file to you, you have to put a member code, the amount for in the
But
CM
how will
crop,
we
all
know
of
what to? Yeah, but how will we know what to put where? So if the headers are there, we can accordingly put it there. Na? Okay, suppose member code is in column A, so we put in the member code in column A. Then bank guarantee is 1 crore, so we can put bank guarantee as 1 crore. Then capital is 1 crore, we can put capital as 1 crore. That way I'm saying.
No, so what we can do is we can give you a sample file with example and one sample file which you can use it, right? In that
Yeah, that's correct. If you're giving us an example file also, that's good enough.
Okay, that we can try. We can give to you.
Yeah, so that, and then that we upload on extranet by 6 o'clock on Friday, right?
Yeah, we are just looking at what all days we can give it to you. We'll try to give it to you on Friday as well as Saturday, Sunday. So we are just trying to figure out what all time we can give it to you to give it to upload it.
No, but what I'm asking you is the time for us to upload it for Monday trading should be Friday. Friday,
yes,
6 o'clock, 6 p.m., right?
No, that's what. Only not in the Friday we are trying to give it. Going to allow you to do it Saturday also. That's what we are right now considering.
Okay, yeah, then it's fine. If you're giving us to, I mean, if you're allowing us that time limit, then it's fine with us also.
Yes.
Okay, that's it from me. That question, and first CP code question also has been answered, so I'm okay with both the answers.
Rajkumar ji, your question, please.
Hi, I'm Nirav here on behalf of Rajkumar. I have requested for two particular data points. One is that on the front end, that is the bolt or the bow related to BSC itself. Is it possible to have a DMRG file on the previous day where while trading itself, we can calculate the margin before we do the trade? That's point number one. And point number two, also I have mailed if it is possible to have the same CP allocations of each client on a daily basis on the front end. So when we are trading, we do not have to refer to any other data point, and straight away on the front end, either it's the bow or the bolt plus, you have that data point so that you don't waste time on looking for things. The trade is just executed. I had mailed this about 2 months back, maybe 3 months back, but there was no reply, So I thought I'll just...
Wait. Rajkumar, I'm not sure whom you raised it to, because bow and bolt are multi-exchange front-end applications with which Clearing Corp has absolutely nothing to do with it. So you will have to talk to the bow and bolt team, because they are a complete different team, because they work on multi-exchange. So they don't work only for BSC or ICCL.
The issue is, see, we spoke to both the teams. We spoke to your team also, and we spoke to the front-end team also. Okay. But they have to speak to each other also, no? To prepare the file. I can't speak on both of your behalf because I don't know anything. Are they speaking to each other? That's my question.
No, wait. Clearing Corp cannot give any file to any front-end vendor. So I don't know what you're expecting from Clearing Corp. Clearing Corp don't interact or give anything to front-end vendors.
I'm just expecting convenience in executing a trade. For me, a final bottom line is what it is and how convenient it is to execute a trade for a client without any loss of time.
Be that as it may, Clearing Corp cannot answer that question, because that is nothing to do. We don't have that visibility of how they work it.
Piyush, let me answer this. Nirav, this is Harin here. So what you can do is you can talk to bow team. There is a margin file which is available, which we have to load it from the back end. So you have to coordinate between your back end and the front end, and not the ICC.
No, agreed. But can I load that on my front end? Because I already spoke to the bow.
Of course, because that is your back end, which is file will be produced and not the by ICCL. So ICCL has nothing to do with the whole scenario.
And what about the other file, the file that we get in class, where you will allocate each and every UCC, you will allocate limits, right? Each and every UCC, after pledging the shares, you will allocate limits. So just that you don't exceed that limit also, that file will be available only from ICCL, right? That's the second part.
We do not provide it to bow. You have to take it out and give it to bow.
Exactly. So what happens here, Nirav, is okay, ICCL will provide a file that will you have to load it to your backend software that will generate another file which you have already processed, and then which is compatible to your front end. So your backend, front end, and ICCL is in sync.
So then we have to speak to the BAO and the
Correct.
Call Plus team.
Correct.
Spoken to them, but they are also not finding time. Anyways, I think
and your back office team, where your back office vendor is, you have to involve them in this discussion.
Correct.
Okay, that's very nice of you. Thank you, Piyush. Thank you, Adi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Pankajji, your question, please. Prakashji, your question, please. Pankajji, Prakashji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Piyush ji.
Hi, Prakash. Hi.
Yeah. So our question was related to the settlement day when basically the back office treats the I would say the bills or the debit credit as settled. So basically, when we generate the BOD files, typically, if I will give you an example, if somebody has bought 1 lakh rupees worth of stock on 1 lakh rupees credit, right? So what back office will do is it will generate 0 as allocation. However, my margin will still be there up to say 11:30 or 12 till the actual settlement completes. So how can we take care of this?
That you tell your backup vendor to segregate the two. Tell them to segregate the margin vis-a-vis the other debit requirements. If you are netting it off, then and you are using that file to allocate, then you will have a mismatch. Because margin, the clearing corp will expect that you do allocation. So right now, this is not going to be an issue for the first 6 months or so. Okay, because first 3 months, there will probably be no penalty at all. After that, 3 months, there will be penalty on the end of the basis allocation. But after that, after 6 months, you will have one penalty for intraday allocation. So during the time period, you'll have to create a logic where you segregate the two and you don't net it off.
No, but then we will have to knock it off at 12 noon, right?
Yes, 12 we can do that, because once the margin is released by the clearing corporation, then you can make a allocation 0. There's no problem.
But how that is practically possible? I mean, at 12 noon, how do we send all such records where there was 2 + 2 settlement open? Now you make it 0, and by that time maybe customer might have given some other receipts or some other collateral. So I mean, it is practically not feasible that we redo everything at 12 noon once your settlement is finished. I mean, can you just guide us through this?
No, but that is not our expectation. That is SEBI expectation that you intraday allocation also, and intraday allocation has to change. That is a SEBI's expectation, not ours.
I understand that, Piyushji, but that's why we are seeking the guidance. Huh?
No, so the thing is that one query we got from the vendors group is that how will we know that settlement is over? Okay, pain is over, so that we can make it 0. That was the question which I got to the members group. Okay, vendors group. And to them, then we suggested a solution. We just said that they will come back to us whether it will work or not. That suppose right now I create a file in extranet, which gives you an indication that pain is over, but that means in my system the margin is released. Okay, so the vendors have said that should work, but they will discuss amongst themselves and come back whether it will work or not from their system perspective, so that they can do a 0 allocation file. So that is something which the vendors group will come back to us, because we can technically do it if required, but if it serves any purpose, we can work on that. Because that same question was asked, that how will we know that आपका pay, because 12 तो हम ये timeline हम ऐसे ही बोल रहे हैं, because someday the pain will happen at 11, someday 11:30, someday 12. So pain timelines also can get extended or modified. So that is what we suggested to them, is that what if we give you a file in the extranet, which is like an indicator that pain is over, will that work for you? So the most vendors on prime office said that it should work, but they are going to discuss among themselves, come back to us.
Okay. Manojji, your question, please. Manojji, Rahulji, your question, please.
Yeah, hi. I was having a few questions in regards to the system, how we are going to function from Monday onwards. Like I do institutional trade. So how do we do the allocation for institutional trades and all? Because they will not inform us right in the morning that today some trade is going to come to you. So you do the allocation activity and keep your systems ready. So could you just throw some light on that?
You're talking about equity cash segment or derivative
Equity
segment?
cash, equity. I'm just a
Equity
member
cash
of
to
equity.
institution member and client don't have any margin at all. No,
Okay,
there's no margin.
because the circular had said ki this circular allocation of funds wala circular will be applicable even to institutional investors.
Right, that will be applicable from T+1 once the margin is applicable.
Okay, on T+1 system.
Yeah. But
Okay.
basically, if the margin doesn't get, so regardless of where it is, like custodian or the broker, the margin, so T+1 or not, the margin, it will be marginable.
It will be marginable.
So this is not marginable at all, allocation not required.
So at that time, the margins will be deducted from the broker's kitty, or how will the system work at that time? Though it is too early.
No. On T+1 day, at the time the rate is getting rejected, at that time we'll do allocation in that case.
Okay, at that time it would be required, not right now. Okay.
No.
Now the second question is, we are totally into delivery based trading. We don't have intraday or else PTSD kind of a thing. Now, if a client is selling his stocks, which is delivery based, how do we do the allocation firsthand? Because once the market is over, we put the securities under irreversible delivery marking. And then once the back office file has been merged into our software, and then the EPN file is being generated, and we upload that EPN file on ICCL portal on extranet. So over here, how?
So right now, as per the SEBI guidelines, in case you are doing early pay into the clearing corporation on the same day, then there's no requirement for margin collection. So in this scenario, you don't have to do any allocation. From the risk perspective, the system will say it's a deemed allocation and margin will block to the member's prop account. But in terms of penalty, there will be no penalty for short allocation even in phase 2 because it's a early payment done, because SEBI allowed that no punishment to be collected in case early payment done on same day.
Okay, so the system will allow us from Monday onwards, if a client is a seller, so the system will take the orders without any kind of zero allocation also.
Yeah. See, system will anyway take order with zero allocation as long as you're doing, if you have CM level collateral available, so system will not stop at all. Only thing is about penalty, short allocation penalty. But even in phase 2, right now there's no penalty anyway. But in phase 2 also, this thing will not be penalized because you will be given a window to seek exemption under early paying thing.
Okay.
So this penalty will be waived off from because of early paying. Yeah.
Okay. So in this kind of a scenario, if the client does a delivery sell, and then later on, if the prices come down, and if he says that I want to do an intraday trading and recollect the sold shares, so we won't be able to do that till the time we do the allocation activity. So if it is a sell trade, it has to be a delivery sell trade. If it is an intraday sell trade, we would have to inform the client earlier before executing the trade that margin allocation will be compulsory for this.
Yeah. Right.
Now the third question that I have, I just have 6 questions, not many.
Because the same thing applies in peak margin. The principle is same. In peak margin also, if you do first a sell trade and then the client does intraday, and then in that case peak margin is payable. There is no waivers for early paying.
Okay, understood. Can we give 80% of the exposure for the sell trade which the client has done from Monday? Matlab, if suppose a client is selling on the same day. Matlab, on Monday, if the client sells stock worth 1 lakh rupee, so 80,000 ka we can allow him to buy something else, some other stock else.
From what I remember, as per SEBI circular, if the client is doing early paying to you, only to you, you can only give limit up to that trade. If you're doing early payment to clearing corp, you can give limit for the remaining 80% also.
So we are doing the this thing up now. What do you say? Delivery, irreversible delivery.
No, you can give 80% after. From what I understand, it is after the clearing corp paying is done, not before.
Okay, so that is going to be on T+2 day only.
No, you can do on T day only. You can do real time also early pay.
Okay.
If you give to clearing corp real time, then you can give 80% benefit, but you have to basically show in the ledger that you are giving this benefit.
Okay, so suppose if the client sells something at 10 o'clock and we do the early paying immediately, and then by 10:30 we get the confirmation from ICCL that the paying of securities has been received by them, then we can give them the allocation. Otherwise, we cannot give them.
Correct.
And on T+1 day, can we give them the allocation? Because in the evening,
same principle applies. After your
Okay.
early payment is accepted by the clearing corp, then you can give, regardless of when
Okay.
it is.
then only we can give. We cannot give before that.
No.
Okay, understood. Then the fourth question do I have is, we do not pledge any securities to ICCL on behalf of the clients, right? So in this condition, do we need to pledge it compulsorily to ICCL?
No,
and take
not
50
required. No,
Not
in that
required.
case, you are going to leave it. The client is going to pledge to you. You will
Hmm.
keep it with yourself, and
Right.
on that, up to that amount, you can do allocation.
Okay, but if this allocation would be from my funds, which is there with the clearing corporation.
Correct.
Right. In that thing, will there be a deemed allocation or else any
No,
kind
no,
of penalty after 3 months?
No. If you're doing allocation, then there's no penalty. If you're not doing
Okay.
any allocation, so, I'll give you
Right.
an example. Suppose client has given you 100 rupees worth of securities,
Hmm.
which you have kept it yourself. You're not pledged to CC. Now,
Right.
you have a choice to do up to 100 rupees allocation to the client.
Okay.
Okay. If
Full
the
100
client is
rupees,
paid for 20,
not after cutting the margins and all. Suppose 1 lakh rupee ka he's given us the stock, and after the VAR margin and all those things, 80% ka allocation can be done to him. That is 80,000 rupees. So we have to do the allocation of 80,000 or full 1 lakh.
No. You can do up to 80,000, not
Up to 80,000.
more than 80,000. Because what you're uploading, what you're uploading to us on October 1 also, from the October 1 file, you are doing after haircut, not before haircut.
Right, not before haircut. Right. So after haircut, I can give him the allocation, and that would be deemed allocation from our funds only. So will there be any kind of penalty?
Not deemed. You will no. Wait. Okay. You are going to allocate. If you don't allocate, then it is deemed allocation. You also allocate.
Okay.
No, if you say that 80 rupees received from client as securities pledge after haircut, then you can and you allocate 40. That's also okay. As long as the client margin is less than 40.
Okay. Understood. So allocation is compulsory in that condition. Okay. Now, is it necessary to upload this allocation file first, or else we can do it at the end of the day after doing all the trades and all, or else it has to be before the trade gets executed?
Up to the first phase, you can do even EOD, but in the last phase, it has to be done before the trade.
Before the trade. So we have, can we do this allocation a day prior? Suppose if we want to trade on Tuesday, we can do the allocation of this.
Absolutely.
So, and for how many days this allocation stays into the system?
It stays till the time you don't change it again.
Okay. So every day by default, suppose for a client,
if you do nothing now, suppose on Monday you do allocation and then you do nothing. It will continue for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday till next year. Till the time you change it again.
Okay, it is a one-time data which has been submitted to the exchange. Now, if he does any kind of
after that you want to change it, you have to upload it again.
Okay.
For that client, suppose now you have uploaded in the beginning. No, let me just finish. So suppose you have uploaded 1 lakh clients allocation on day 1. After that, you want to change for 10 clients. So you only change for 10 clients. You don't have to change again for 1 lakh clients.
Okay, understood. Now, in this condition, if suppose that client has traded for the allocation has been done of 1 lakh rupees, the client has traded for 50,000. So 50,000 stays into the pipeline, or else full new allocation has to. It stays into the pipeline. Will we be getting some kind of a file from the exchange from ICCL stating that this client was allocated this much of funds, he is utilized this much?
You can download any point of time from the system.
Okay.
Anytime you want, you can download that file.
So this file is not available right now. This would be available for downloads from Monday onwards, right? If I'm not mistaken.
In the simulation is there.
Okay.
Simulation environment is already there. Simulation environment.
Okay. So what is the file name? Can you just help me out with the file name?
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Client allocation report. There's a file called client allocation report.
Client allocation report.
Hello.
Okay, understood. Then the last question is, under allocation system, do we need to do the allotment before or else after also? This is the question that I have already asked. Under allocation system, we need to allot margin or the trade amount. So do we need to do the margin allotment or else the trade allotment? Margin allotment, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Now, suppose if he's buying 1,000 shares of Reliance, which is worth 27 lakh rupees, the VAR margin and all those things is 16%. So we will be doing an allocation of 4,32,000 and not 27 lakhs.
Correct.
Right. Okay. I think all my question has been sorted out. I'm done with it.
Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah. Thanks a
lot. Piyush, our question is, our deposit and RTRMS will be updated only after we have updated the collateral allocation file. Please clarify.
No, can you repeat again?
Our deposit in RTRMS will be updated only after we have updated the collateral allocation file.
Obviously, because
Yes.
RTMS gets data from the collateral system.
Okay.
So once you update in our collateral system, then it will go to flow to RTRMS and then it will be visible there.
Okay. Does ICCL have a module for making changes online without file upload?
Yes, we have API system also.
Okay. Which email ID do we send our request to move all cash and cash equivalent to PRO?
Yeah, it is ops. Is Vijeta is or
Yeah, they can just send put it on the chat.
Yes. This means you can email it to ops@icclindia.com. ops@icclindia.
So Vijeta, you can just put it on the chat so members can see it then. Yes. Thank you. Apurva ji, your question, please. Karan ji, your question.
Hi Piyush. So in regards to my, there are 2-3 questions. One in follow up to one question which is already answered by you. In terms of securities that are pledged by the clients but not repledged by us to ICCL, if we are allocating to the client, I understand that we can allocate equivalent amount, which is equal to post haircut value of the pledged shares. But logically, how would the RTRMS system know that what is the non-cash component? So if a client has a 100 rupee post haircut value pledged to the broker, which is not gone to ICCL does not, how will ICCL be able to allocate 200 rupees if I allocate 100 rupees as cash, knowing that there is a non-cash 100 rupee pledge to me? Because since it's not repledged to you, then how does that make sense? I mean, I just got a...
No. Anything which has come to you, okay, what I explained was that suppose client has pledged 200 to you, which you are not repledged to ICCL.
Right.
Okay. So ICCL doesn't have any allocation for the client.
Perfect.
You can up to 100 rupees, you can allocate from your cash equivalent collateral.
Correct.
Cash.
So cash is allocated.
Wait. No. Listen, just hear me out. And RTMS will actually, for the client, they'll give limit of 100, not 200.
Correct.
100. Because or 50 or whatever you allocate, that is the limit it will give. If you try to allocate more than 100, you suppose you allocate 150. RTMS will not stop you. But then there will be later on a reconciliation done between what you uploaded here, allocation, and versus what you have uploaded in the October 1 filing, end of day filing, where you will say that client has given only 100 collateral, but allocation you have done for 150. So that is a different mismatch for which there will be penalty which will be chargeable. It will not stop you from trading or anything of that sort. But it's a separate, then penalty will be charged because as per your October implementation, you have said that client is giving you 100 security, but allocation you have done for more than 100.
Basically, you cannot lie is the underlying thing. You based on what you have pledged, you tell the truth, and you will get that much cash.
Yes.
I was under the impression you told that even non-cash they'll get the benefit somehow. So anyway, so this
no.
And second is that right now we are all focusing on the trauma of Monday, which has been reduced a lot by the prop allocation method. But if considering the October scenario, payment gateway is something which is a non-cleared payment when we receive the funds, and if we allocate, that will lead to prop allocation. So has there been any discussion taken up in terms where if we get a confirmation from payment gateway, it is as good as a UTR of a bank from RBI standpoint, and can that be considered as cleared payment which we can allocate and it should not impact the prop capital?
You can allocate, no issues about that. Only thing is you have to pass it into a ledger also, and you can allocate.
But then the fund will be blocked from prop only, no?
Yes, no, you allocate from the prop, no? Okay, wait. If you're assuming that clearing corp will take that confirmation from payment gateway, that is not going to happen, right? So what will happen is clearing corp will block from the payment which is there, cash which it has already. So even today, when you don't have cash clear balance,
it's getting blocked logically from pool, but over there is a lot of client fund lying anyway. So I get your point. It's fine. And in terms of the marginal custodian clients, you cleared the first question that Visviji asked, that cleared the doubt. But just one more follow on to that is that Is there any provision for, so say today when we do trades for marginable custodial clients, we don't take margins from them under the pretext that there is a lot of pool of funds lying around from which it gets used up, and at the end of the day the custodian takes up the trade. But now that it is going to be a pure prop allocation every single trade that they do, we have an inherent cost to doing their trade every single time, the funding cost. So is there some provision for us to be able to take some sort of collateral from custodians, so that the trading member does not block the funds for this? And is there some direct way about this where custodian can directly extend the margins to ICCL for those clients, and we can allocate from here, something of that sort? Is it thought through?
Okay, so the thing is, today also, in today's scenario also, the margin of the trading member gets blocked for marginable CP codes, correct? Even today.
It's blocked from our pool of funds, no? Which is not purely my own fund.
No, it's pool of funds, yes, but that is anyway illegal. But when you say pool of funds, you're talking about other clients' funds. It's anyway illegal even today. It's just that now it will be blocked by the system itself. But it was not legal even earlier. So please don't say that you are doing it. Second is that, just hear me out, finish. Second is, when we did this peak margin implementation, that time we had asked the customer that they do something like this. Because at ICCL, we will be willing to create a system through which this can happen. But the custodians were not really keen to do something like this, and then they spoke to NCL, and NCL told them that it is not required also. And then SEBI also got involved. They said that it is too complicated. Otherwise, we were willing to create a system where custodians can basically give margin confirmation at least. That this margin is available at them, so it doesn't get blocked at the member level. So something like that could have been done, but at that time, then it was decided not to go that route.
Okay, great. Now, last question. So it has been discussed already, but basically, if we face any issues in terms of the Monday allocations, the strategy is that when we are allocating all the funds to prop, essentially what is happening is that there is a difference between what we actually have in ledger versus what everything is going to prop. So just that it's not being penalized, that's why we are going to do that, to avoid any last minute issues, right? That's the
right. And we recommend that if you can do it at client level, if you cannot, only at the first day, beginning of the day, you can maybe use that, but we recommend that you, as soon as you can, change it to the allocation as per the reporting you're doing as per October 1.
Correct. So basically, this is completely incorrect, but just we don't have penalty. So if we have an issue, we should resolve.
Yeah, penalty nahi hai. Plus, second is that we want, and the system should not stop. So it's like just a enabling clause so that system doesn't stop, your train doesn't stop.
Hemangji, your question, please. Hemangji. Iccl ji, your question. Dipen sir, your question, please. Dipan sir.
Yeah, this is Dipan Mehta here. So my question was that basically in the present scenario, only if the member goes into RRM, then the client will go into RRM, right? If everything is allocated to the pro.
Correct.
Right. So that's one question. Secondly, you said that to Cyrus's question, you said that if you email it to ops@icclindia.com, then we will move all your cash and cash equivalent to pro, right? Or own.
Right.
So that supposing we do that email, we send it to you just now, then whenever from Monday onwards, we are making changes in the cash and cash equivalent, which means we are adding cash, removing cash. Do we have to send a separate email, or it will be assumed that all our cash and cash equivalent go to pro?
No. You cannot keep doing this email after the day one. Only for day one, we are going to enable this email business. We expect you to then use the system afterwards. For the day one, we don't want anyone to stop. That is why we are allowing this. But after that, if you want to add separate collateral, we would expect you to do it through system. Only if the system is not working at all, maybe something can be worked out, but it's not going to be operationally feasible for us to extend this to the entire market, this kind of facility for every addition subtraction.
Okay. And I had asked a question that does ICCL have a module for making changes online without file upload? So you said there's an API system. API system means I have to develop the system, right? It's not like a window which will open up, which I can manually change whichever way I want to change it. Is it like that? Or the system I have to develop?
So Vijeta, you will have to develop this system with in your back office.
Okay, you don't have a like a module which opens up and I can make the changes and see like that, right?
No, you have to develop. You have to develop. We have released an API version circular. So in accordance to that messaging structure, you will have to develop it.
All right, thank you very much and all the best. I think ICCL has been doing a great job in terms of clarifying all our questions. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much.
Ekta ji, your question, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Let's say, for example, actually, I have a query related to prop allocation. So let's say, for example, if I wanted to allocate around 10 crore of rupees into prop account and client having a cash balance of 0 and let's say a non-collateral balance of 50 lakhs. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So as I've given you the example, cash collateral is 0 and the non-cash collateral is around 50 lakhs. So how we can allocate in this case?
This 50 lakhs, have you replaced to CC or no?
Yes.
If you replace to CC entire 50 lakhs, then there's no allocation.
Yeah.
If you replace the entire 50 lakh to CC, then you cannot do any further allocation for the client. Because client collateral receipt from client is 50 lakh, replace to CC is 50 lakh. So there is nothing extra you can allocate to client. In case you are allocated say 25 lakh or 0, then up to the extent of that 50 lakh, you could allocate to the client from your cash and cash equivalent.
Cash and cash equivalent. So let's say if I'm using, as I had mentioned, the cash balance is 0 and the non-collateral is around 50 lakhs. Okay. So if I'm using 50 lakhs, that would be directly get blocked from prop account, right?
No, if you're using 50 lakhs, if you have repaid to CC, in that case, 50 lakh client can trade subject to the cash component available at the member level.
Okay.
So 50-50 perspective. Otherwise, client can get limit up to 50 lakh. No issues.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Manoji, your question, please.
My question is related. I have multiple questions. The first one is, if you're doing 100% delivery based, we do not take any collaterals from clients. They transfer the shares to us after the trade, not before the trade, because the demat is with us. We are DPs. They transfer the money by NEFT after the trade is done. Now, in such scenario where we know the money is with us, it will come to us. We cannot allocate technically as per the SEBI this thing. So practically, how do we manage situations like this?
No, this early paying concept is only for securities. For funds,
yes, we're only doing delivery based. We're only doing delivery based.
No, I agree. I agree. But if you're buying, then you have to take margin. You have to take a margin.
Right. So the margin. Suppose the margin comes to us. Okay, so because we have to take 20% upfront margin, we take that 10. The 100% of the margin even comes to us, but it comes on the day. It doesn't come 1 day in advance because the client decides to trade that same day. So,
right.
We would have to technically, as per my understanding of the situation, we'll have to upload the allocation file only after we receive the money from Pro to him.
Yes.
Can we do it? Can we do
after
it?
Receive the money? No, after you receive the money, you can do the allocation. That is true.
That is for phase 2 and phase 3. For phase 1, I can do it even end of day. It doesn't matter.
Yes. That's right.
Right. Now, what happens if a client buys and then sells a different stock? He buys stock, say Tata Steel, and he sells Reliance. He buys first. So technically, your peak margin, everything is required, but he sells an equivalent money value-wise of Reliance, which he does early paying.
Yeah.
Okay. So in phase 1, again, it will not be a problem. In phase 2, and I've allocated that much money, but in phase 2, again, it'll be a problem because he cannot. I have to, since he's not giving me any other cash margin, I will have to first technically do the early paying, receive, then only I can allow him to buy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely right.
Okay. Now, the third question is, if he gives me funds, can I do an EPI of the fund and allocate it to him, that complete funds, and release my Pro allocation, which I've given to him?
Absolutely, you can do that. If you have done early payment of cash to you, funds to you, you can allocate the entire amount to him.
No. I want to give the money to the clearing house.
Okay.
So I can release my allocation to him. Just like how we do early paying of shares, the same way I want to do early paying of money, which will be used
No, I think
for settlement purposes. I don't have to do it twice over. Are you with me?
No, your margin, if you do early paying of funds for the trade, the margin will get released. So then allocation can be released.
Yes. So that can be done, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And because then I don't have to, my point is that the money which I'm giving clearing house is for the shares purchase, which can be utilized for the margin allocation perspective. So I don't have to do it twice over.
No, I am not sure I got the last part.
Okay. So what happens if a client buys 1,000 shares of Reliance? 27 lakhs he's given me. I've done early paying of the 27 lakhs to clearing house.
Right.
And the allocation which I've done before the at
you can
time of the
release,
trade,
yes.
I will release it after the early payment is accepted.
Yeah.
By the clearinghouse. Now the money which I've given to the clearinghouse will get, because it's early payment, it will get settled at the settlement. I don't have to put in more money at all.
Correct.
Okay. Now, last question is that since it's a rolling thing, we are on May 2nd. I already have certain margins already blocked, right?
Yeah.
Because of trade today and trade tomorrow, there will be certain amount of margins which are blocked. So on Monday, would I do allocation of 100% of my pro to 100% of my collateral to pro? Will it technically be only 80% because 20% may have been used for trades today and yesterday? I mean today and tomorrow.
So this is collateral. This is not margin per se. What you're allocating.
Right. Okay, so it's just collateral. So it's not nothing to do with the margin utilization.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Prakashji, your question, please.
Yeah. So Piyush, there was one more question. In fact, a couple of questions. So one thing is regarding the unclear fund through check or through payment gateway. We can do the allocation from prop fund that is given, but on the next day segregation file, which we need to report on T+1, how do we segregate that fund? Because it also says, right, that allocation cannot be more than the segregation.
Right.
So how do we take care of this?
No, because you'll pass an entity to ledger, no, for these funds which you got getting the payment gateway.
No, but again,
today, when you're increasing the limit of the client, you are doing it because you are recording in your system that this money has been paid by the client through a payment gateway.
Right.
You have got confirmation of the payment gateway that this money has been paid by the client. On the basis of that, you are increasing the limit in your system. So you're recording it in your ledger, right? That this money has been paid by the client. It's not come to your bank account, it's a fine different thing, but the money has been paid by the client.
Correct.
In nodal account, T+1 payega, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Correct? So on that basis, you can do that, yes.
No, but the problem here is, so can I segregate also in the column number 46, 47, 48?
No, I don't remember the column number, but basically the आपका जो uncleared fund जो है ना, जो ledger है, उसमें you can show this.
No, but the question, the problem here is, Piyush ji, supposing somebody has given me 1 lakh rupees, against it he has bought 1 lakh worth of shares. So technically my ledger would remain zero. Are you getting my point?
No. Can you repeat again? Sorry.
So say somebody has transferred through payment gateway. I have got 1 lakh rupees confirmation. I allowed the limit. Against it, he has bought the position. Right? He has taken some shares, and now my ledger is effectively zero.
No, that's why I started to tell you that basically what you're doing is you are then आपका जो debit entry है उसको आप इसमें net कर रहे हो. Ideally, you should keep it two separate things. Otherwise, what you're also thinking is that if you're not able to do that, we might to then think of changing the file format itself to basically separately capture the uncleared checks and such kind of funds.
Exactly, because this is how class functions. It is the T-day entry. Basically, everything is recorded on T-day.
No, so that is something again we are considering. Only thing is that again we had a meeting with even the vendor group. We asked them that if we do it, will it work? So they said yes, it can work, but still it will be better if all clearing corps do it. Okay, so we'll have to talk to the other clearing corps also, because this allocation format of October 1 was common across CCs. So technically ICCL can do it, create another column for uncleared checks and uncleared basically payment through payment gateway, etc. But we can technically do it because we had also checked our system readiness. But if we do it, then we are wondering that your vendor should not come and say that we cannot create a system only for ICCL, because they told us that it will be good if every clearing corp does it.
But till then what is the solution? I mean, Hope there is
No,
no.
till that time anyway, right now, the first 3 months is anyway
First
no
3
turn.
months it is not there, but
In
yeah.
that time, during that time, I think we'll find a solution. Either we will, even if another clinic of don't do it, we'll probably do it unilaterally.
Okay. And Piyush, the same thing will apply to my earlier question, because where I do allocation in the morning and after settlement, if I'll make it 0, so basically the segregation file on T+1 will be always 0.
Right.
Because I have done allocation in the morning, I have removed it around 12 noon. And next day segregation, there won't be anything, right?
Correct. Because end of day, the end of day file is end of day file. So that will be 0. That's absolutely right.
So it has nothing to do with intraday peak with the segregation file next day.
Correct. Because that cannot be checked. Because it's at a point of time. The intraday file is at the point of time, while that file is the end of day file. So we cannot compare it to.
Correct. Okay. So there is one more question regarding the that particularly for the split cases, corporate action. Now the requirement right now is the same need to be early paid in the same day. Particularly in the split case, we do not have power of attorney. So typically the Iccl changes, right? In the trading platform, and in depository system, it is still under the old Iccl.
Correct.
So now we are not able to make the early paying because the difference of Iccl. I have EDIS success on new Iccl, and the security is lying in the old Iccl. So till the record date, when the depository give the corporate action effect, I am not able to make the early paying. So in this scenario, how do we take care of this allocation and all?
So right now, what are you doing for peak margin case scenario?
Peak margin case scenario. I mean, there also it is a challenge, right?
Okay, so whatever solution, I think this is a wider question, not necessarily linked to this collateral allocation. So in that case, you have to find a solution for the peak margin, because that's basically it's not a news issue. So I don't know how you're dealing with it for last 1.5 years since peak margin has come in.
We have escalated multiple times to ICCL, but we are not able to get the answer to it.
No, fair enough, because I don't think I've heard this question before. But now that you told us, I will try to find a solution for this.
Okay. And sir, so in the T+1 settlement scenario, would it work like I mean both the exchanges will have I mean record date would be on T+1 only, right? Right now the record date is on basically T+2 day. So on the T+1 scenario, when the settlement will move to T+1, effectively this corporate action would also change.
So right now, I think BC already even now does it on T+1 itself. I think NSE does it on T+2 if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, BSE does it on T day, NSE T+1, and CDSL on T+2.
T+2. So I think probably that will get standardized. On one day. So I think that's going to get standardized from what I understand. But I can check the exchanges and depository, but I believe it's going to get standardized.
Manojji, your question, please. Manojji?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Haji.
Sir, this prop allocation for Monday is applicable to across all CC?
Yes.
All CC. Second query is this: suppose the client having 50 lakh rupees in stock and zero balance, how the CC will allocate limits to that client?
We will not allocate limit to any client. The member is required to allocate limits to the client.
No, my funds is there as a prop fund. There is no client-wise allocation, and client stock is CC 50 lakh rupees. So CC will give a limit, or I have to give the limits?
No. If you are given 50 lakh securities replaced to clearing corp, then client will have 50 lakh limit at least. Yes.
At least 50 lakh limits, no?
Subject to there being enough cash on the member prop book for 50-50 ratio. Yes.
That natural. Last point is, when there is some use of client funds, I reduce the fund of the client accordingly. Suppose some client has 10 lakh rupees balance. I reduce balance 5 lakh rupees when you use 5 lakh rupees. This downward tick, where it will reflect in pro or in another client?
No, what you have to do is you want to reduce the client allocation, right? So when you reduce client allocation, it will go into what is called an unallocated bucket. If you want to give to prop, you can choose that. You can, in that case, you have to give upload 2 records. One is reduce client exposure from 10 to 5. and increase props from 5 to 10 or 100 to 105, whatever. Or
It
if
is
you don't
mandatory?
give only one, no. If you give only one entry, it will go to what is called unallocated pool. Unallocated pool. Then you can later on.
Unallocated can be done, na?
Yeah, you can later on do it to any prop or any other client afterward also.
Okay. Thank you.
It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to match. That you don't, when you're reducing 5 lakhs.
Yeah, it doesn't have to match, na?
Yes, it doesn't have to match.
Right. Thank you.
Pankaj, your question. Ashwini ji, your question.
Yeah, sir, my question is related to how many reports can be uploaded on the portal in one time?
How many records? 50,000.
50,000. Okay. Sir, can I ask with regards to NCL?
I think NCL is not here in this call.
How many reports I can upload in NCL?
I think NCL is not in the call, but from the circular, I think it's 1,000 records.
Only 1,000.
But NCL is not there on this call.
But sir, if they, suppose there are 1 lakh record for a particular day, so we have to maintain, prepare 100 file.
That I need to ask the NCL question to NCL, but as per the circular, they have issued it's 1,000 records per file.
Ashwini ji, today ask question with regards to ICCL, please.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
In ICCL, you can do 2 files, only 50,000 records each.
Yeah, and suppose one client have given me a 1 lakh of 1 lakh birth value stock, and I have replaced it with the CC. So when client use the total 1 lakh rupees as a margin, so what will be the impact on my pro amount?
No, I think you can repeat the question, please.
या सपोज कीजिए एक क्लाइंट ने मुझे 1 लाख रुपए का स्टॉक दिया है और वो स्टॉक मैंने सीसी में रिप्लेस किया हुआ है.
ठीक है.
2 तारीख को क्लाइंट 1 लाख रुपया पूरा मार्जिन यूटिलाइज कर लेता है 1 लाख रुपया. तो क्या मेरे प्रो पे उसका कुछ इम्पैक्ट आएगा?
1 लाख अगर वो यूज करता है 10,000 आपके ऊपर इम्पैक्ट आएगा, बिकॉज़ अबाउट 90% यूटिलाइजेशन दैट रिमेनिंग 10,000 विल गेट ब्लॉक्ड फ्रॉम टीएम कोलैटरल.
Only 10%.
Yeah, as long as you have enough cash collateral in your prop account to give benefit of entire non-cash to the client. Okay. As long as that is there, then client can get full 1 lakh 90,000 मिल जाएगा उसको. 10,000 जो है वो आपकी इस पे कटेगा, because सेविंग सर्कल बोलता है 90% तक क्लाइंट देगा, 10% मेंबर के से कटेगा.
मेंबर से ओके. मतलब मेरे प्रो में सिर्फ जो 10% का है वो वैल्यू आप मेरा एबीसी से कम करोगे वहां पे प्रो अकाउंट से.
मतलब अगर आपने 1 लाख का सिक्योरिटी दिया और 90,000 क्लाइंट ने ट्रेड किया तो कुछ भी नहीं कटेगा आपका. 91,000 के तो 1,000 कटेगा, 55,000 के तो 5,000 कटेगा.
ओके 10% फ्लैट हेयर कट है वहां पे.
हाँ, अगर 1,10,000 के तो 20,000 कटेगा.
ओके, अगर उससे ऊपर का यूज करता है तो फिर मेरा वो साइमेंट से उतना कटना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा.
करेक्ट.
ओके.
Karan ji, your question. Karan ji, your question.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, Ishji. Piyush ji, with regards to phase 2, अभी तो हम लोग सब we are thinking Monday, but for us to be able to do intraday changes properly, there are so many cases where we'll require one very major case being T+2 को 11 बजे until 11 we have to allocate, and then after the pain we have to release. It would be really helpful if we have the data which is being shown in Collateral platform in terms of API, where we can fetch the record of what is this allocation done to the client in ICCL, so that real-time systems can read that data and accordingly update.
That is already under consideration at our end.
Achha,
That is already under consideration at our end.
Okay, great. And early pain का जो है waiver of penalty in case if you do the early pain and it will not be considered as penalizable shortfall, that would be true even in phase 3, no?
Yeah.
That is through the
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Samir ji, your question, please. Samir ji.
So what I was requesting ICCL, see, this API facility all software vendors might not be able to provide to us. So why don't you all have just an interface like on extranet or some other on the class module, where we can change the allocation for a particular client on the spot without uploading a file?
See, to be honest, we did not think that it would be required, because right now no members use generally manual interfaces to upload data. So we had created a bulk upload system and an API. what you're asking is, I'm sure that you will also not use beyond first 3 days, 5 days.
No, but what happens is, suppose it's only a one client where I need to make a change to. And if the interface is available, it's much faster, where any one of the dealer who has the authorization, he can just change the limits on that. Instead of going to the back office software, making a file, then uploading it. That's a tedious process.
We consider that it cannot be possible right now, but we'll consider to get, if we can do this, create a web-based interface for this. But right now, it cannot be done immediately.
Yeah, I agree. But just a suggestion for the future. It might help a lot of people.
We will explore that if we can create a web-based interface on the class itself, where you can manually change the allocation for one client or whatever, basically one record. So we will see if we can.
So it's much faster than that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Then my second question is, when we want to reduce the allocation to any client, and we don't allocate that to Pro, why don't you have a system where it goes automatically to Pro? Because I mean,
no, that can be done because we are not authorized to do allocation on your behalf. Okay, allocation has to always come from the member. We cannot automatically put anything in Pro.
Okay, fine. My next question is, what I was understanding from your conversation is, you're saying if the securities are not pledged to ICCL, then also the client has a limit.
No, you have to give a limit. It doesn't have a limit. You have to give him a limit, and you can give him a limit.
No, but what I want to understand is how I can give him a limit, because when I upload the file, ICCL for that client will not have any security. No record of any securities pledged, right?
No, you are given to me, na, and end of the file reporting jo hota hai na, which you start from October 1. In that you are giving it to me.
Yeah, so I'm just giving it to you that the client has pledged shares with me, not with.
Correct.
So you will go as per that file, you mean to say?
Yes.
Okay. Then one more question. Does a particular client go into RRM mode if his allocation is less?
No. Client can continue to trade till the time member limit is there. Client doesn't go to RRM.
So just to ensure that the member doesn't go into RRM, why don't you all develop a system where only the client goes to RRM?
Because that cannot be done by clearing corp. That should be done by exchanges. Exchanges right now don't have capability to put a client into RRM mode. They only have capability to put member into RRM mode.
Okay. Because if the client goes into RRM, it solves so much of the problem for everybody.
No, I agree. But for us, it's the easiest thing to do to create a message, RRM message for client. But the exchange has to use it and basically consume it and actually take action on that. And exchanges right now are not geared to do client level RRM modes.
And you think in the future that will be possible, because it saves a lot of headache for us.
I agree, it should be done. Maybe you can put a recommendation to SEBI also on this. If SEBI बोलेगा तो exchange को भी करना ही पड़ेगा ना. हम बोलेंगे तो कुछ नहीं होता है. जैसे आपका नहीं सुनते, हमारा भी सुनते नहीं exchange वाले.
अच्छा, ठीक है. Now, and the last thing is, for the first day, that is second, you said we need to email ICCL to transfer everything to Pro, right?
You don't need to. You can upload a file. That is the most.
Yeah, that way. See, the back office guys yet trying to make. I mean, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to do it, but in the meantime, can I just email?
Yeah, you can do that. You can email. But we would hope that you can do it through, because क्या test भी हो जाएगा आपका भी. अगर नहीं कर पाए तो you can do email.
No, why I'm saying the email for the first day is, suppose the file format which we are generating from the back office is not correct. At least then, even for Tuesday, Wednesday, everything remains in Pro.
Yeah. Fair enough. You can send an email. We already told you the email ID. So in case you are not able to generate the file, you can send by email.
So on email ID, to which email ID we have to send?
I think वो chat पे डाला है विजेता ने. Let me just confirm. Hold on.
No, I didn't see it. Could you inform me?
Samir ji, you can email on ops@isslindia.com.
Can you repeat, please?
ops@isslindia.com.
Okay.
Abhijit, your question, please. Question from NJ India team.
Hi, Piyush ji. Vijeta, is it mandatory to send email to ops team, or we can allocate our existing collateral in TM proprietary through a file upload?
That's what we're telling you. We want you to do that way only. If you cannot do it, then send a mail.
Fine. So tomorrow EOD, what we are going to do, we are allocating our existing collateral in a TM prop only.
Please
because
do, sir.
we are self-clearing member.
Please
So
do, sir. Please do it through the system. Only in case you cannot do it through the system, your file is not ready, then you send us a mail. We are not asking you to send a mail to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Piyush.
Abhijit, your question, please.
मेरे क्वेश्चन एमटीएफ के रिगार्डिंग था कि अगर मान सपोज एमटीएफ के किसी क्लाइंट का पहले हमने प्लेस कर रखा है, तो अभी जो है कि उसमें स्टॉक की जरूरत, स्टॉक से ही काम चल जाता था, उसमें भी क्या अलग से कोलेटरल, कैश कोलेटरल रखना जरूरी है क्या?
अभय जी, मुझे आपको क्वेश्चन पूरा समझा नहीं है। आप क्या बोल रहे हो कि अगर क्लाइंट ने सिक्योरिटी दिया है तो मुझे कैश कोलेटरल रखना जरूरी है क्या, ये पूछ रहे हैं आप क्वेश्चन?
हाँ, एमटीएफ के लिए। एमटीएफ जो है एक ब्रोकर लेवल तक ही होता है, इसलिए
क्या होता है एफडी?
एमटीएफ मार्जिन ट्रेडिंग फंडिंग।
एमटीएफ मार्जिन ट्रेडिंग फंडिंग, हाँ
जी, हाँ। उसमें क्लाइंट का जो स्टॉक है
इसका एमटीएफ से कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है, कोलैटरल से नहीं, ये जो अलोकेशन है उसका एमटीएफ से कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है बाबा जी।
तो वो स्टॉक कैरी का स्टॉक के बिहाफ पे वो चल सकता है।
देखिए, आपको एमटीएफ में आपको वार प्लस सीटम सीएलएम रखना पड़ता है मार्जिन, बराबर। वो आप सिक्योरिटी फर्म ले सकते हो, यहाँ पे आपने उतना ले लिया, अगर आप उसका अलोकेशन उसके आपको कर सकते हैं। आप या तो यू कैन पे द सेम शेयर टू क्लियरिंग कॉर्प, और यू कैन गिव अलोकेशन टू द मेंबर, टू द क्लाइंट, एज लॉन्ग एज आपका जो प्रॉप में कैश है दैट इज मोर देन द कैश नॉन कैश रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर द क्लाइंट ट्रेड, इट्स ओके, यू डोंट हैव टू सेपरेटली अलोकेट।
अच्छा, क्लाइंट का अगर जो पीओए है ऑलरेडी, वो अभी जैसे ब्रोकर लेवल पे हम उसका स्टॉक बेच देते हैं, अब बाद में शाम को रिपोर्ट जनरेट करके ऑब्लिगेशन के हिसाब से लगाते हैं, तो अभी क्या उसके लिए
नहीं, अगर आप पीओए है, मतलब आप बोल रहे हो अर्ली पेन बोल रहे हो आप, राइट? पीओए आप तो अर्ली पेन करोगे ना, बोल रहे हो ना?
हाँ जी,
अर्ली पेन करोगे आप तो आपको अलोकेशन की जरूरत नहीं है। नहीं, अलोकेशन की जरूरत नहीं है, फिर आपको बाद में जो मार्जिन जो पेनल्टी लगेगा उस पे वेवर मिल जाएगा, अर्ली पेन कर दिया तो आपने।
पंकज जी, योर क्वेश्चन प्लीज।
हेलो
राहुल जी, भैया पंकज जी, यस।
हाँ सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे हम अभी यूएटी एनवायरनमेंट में ये सेग्रीगेशन के लिए जो फाइल्स अपलोड कर रहे हैं क्लियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन में, तो उसमें जब हम फाइल अपलोड हो जा रहा है, उसके बाद जब हम क्लाइंट वाइज देखते हैं तो वहां पे कोई भी डाटा शो नहीं हो रहा, और इसके लिए हम क्लियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन को मेल वगैरह भी कर रहे हैं, बट वहां से भी कोई जवाब भी नहीं आ रहा है। तो मतलब हमें पता ही नहीं लग पा रहा कि जो हम फाइल अपलोड कर रहे हैं वो ठीक हो रही है या नहीं हो रही है।
सर, आपका टेस्ट कोड क्या है? टेस्ट कोड क्या है? व्हाट इज योर टेस्ट क्लियरिंग कोड थ्रू व्हिच यू आर अपलोडिंग?
Right now, मेरे को मेरा ID 0875.
So, hello. So, do one thing, na. Post this webinar. You can take my mobile number. You can call me directly for this query. Hello.
Your good name, please.
Vijeta. Vispy sir, can you share my number with him?
या श्योर। पंकज जी, आप मुझे ऑफलाइन में करिए ना, मैं विजेता का नंबर आपको शेयर करता हूँ।
ओके सर।
या
राहुल जी, योर क्वेश्चन प्लीज। राहुल जी,
Can you hear me now?
yes please.
Yeah. Now a client has sent me an RTGS or else an NEFT. It takes some time for the bank to credit that amount into a bank account. So when the client has given me the UTR number, can I do the allocation in the file by putting the amount in the ledger and then uploading the file and do the trade, or else I'll have to wait for that credit amount to come into my bank account and then only I can trade?
That's your risk management. Ideally,
Okay.
if I was in your place, I would not go by UTR number, because UTR number is given by the client, not by the bank. अगर आपको बैंक देगा UTR number, तो it's a different thing. Ideally, personally, if I was running this business, I would not go by UTR number given by client, because client can give UTR number which may not be fraud also. But अगर आपको payment हाँ ऐसा कुछ आता है कहीं से उधर से, तो it's a different thing. But technically, it's your risk management. If you think it is हो गया है and you can give it, you can pass entry. That's your risk management.
Okay. That is my own personal risk management. But according to the exchange or else from the inspection point of view, I can do it if I want.
Yes.
Okay. Now, second thing is, if I don't do the allocation of securities, if I do, my back office software is not ready, right? So I need to send a mail. Now, by any chance, if I'm not able to send the mail till tomorrow end of the day, will on Monday the systems will allow me to place in the trade, or else the system will reject the trade completely?
No, if you have to send that mail, because otherwise आपका कुछ भी रहेगा ही नहीं collateral. It will be as if you are zero collateral.
Okay, so systems will not allow me to place the trade only into the system. Okay, and just one more thing. Now, if I'm doing an EPN, if I'm selling a security on Monday, right, and I'm doing an early paying in NSDL from NSDL to ICCL, the irreversible. Now, once it gets uploaded on Class India, then I can give the 80% margin to purchase any other share to the client on the same day, right?
Uploaded, you have to get a response file also from us, right?
Yeah.
You get a response file that is accepted. Yeah.
On the Class India, where we get a response that these securities have been
delivered. Then you can give. Yes.
Then after that we can. So there would be a buffer period of 15-20 minutes, whatever time it takes for it to get acknowledged by ICCL.
Right.
Then we can give it on the same day also. Then we can do the trade for that client for that particular amount on T plus 1 day also. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Understood. Got it.
Abhijit, your question? Abhijit? Yes.
हाँ सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि मान लीजिए कि किसी क्लाइंट का अभी जो हमने सीएम टीएम के लिए प्लेज कर रखा है ऑल सेगमेंट में, अब आगे जो देते हैं एफएनडो या कैश के लिए अलग सेग्रीगेट करके देते हैं, क्या वहीं आगे जो है अभी जैसे ब्रोकर लेवल पे हमने ले रखा है टीएम सीएम के लिए, वहीं से आगे कर देंगे कि क्लाइंट को प्रॉपर रिलीज करके या क्लाइंट के अकाउंट से अब टीएम सीएम कंसीडर करके देना पड़ेगा?
आप बोल रहे हो कि मेरा क्लाइंट कैश पे उसने देके रखा है, अभी उसको डेरिवेटिव में ट्रेड करना है, ऐसा बोल रहे हो आप?
नहीं, क्लाइंट ऑलरेडी हमें दे रखा है, ऑल सेगमेंट में करके क्लाइंट से हमने पीओए से क्लाइंट ने दे दिया,
ठीक है, बढ़िया,
हमने टीएमसीएम के लिए ले लिया, अभी हमारे पास पड़ा हुआ है, अब आगे हमें सीसी को देना है, यहीं से सेग्रीगेट करके आगे दे दें कि क्लाइंट का
नहीं, ऑल कर दीजिए ना। नहीं, आप एक काम करिए, आप ऑल करके दीजिए सीसी को भी, आप सीसी को भी ऑल करके दे दीजिए। ओके, देन इट विल गो इनटू सम सेगमेंट, वहां से आपको जहां भी एलोकेट करना है कर दीजिए, आपको बार-बार प्लेज रिप्लेस करने की जरूरत नहीं है। ओके, हमारे सिस्टम से आप है ना ट्रांसफर करते हो, अगर आप ऐसे बाय डिफॉल्ट सारा सिक्योरिटी विल गो टू प्लेज, आप ऑल करके देंगे तो, बट ऑल करके दीजिएगा, फिर बाद में हमारे सिस्टम से वो सिक्योरिटी को जहां ले जाना चाहते हैं, आपको रिप्लेस अनप्लेज रिप्लेस करने की जरूरत नहीं है बार-बार।
ओके, ठीक है।
Piyush, as we are coming closer to the session, members, a request to raise your virtual hand to ask any questions. Piyush, there are two more questions. I'll just take it.
Sure.
Harshji, your question, please.
Hello.
हाँ जी.
प्लेज का टाइमिंग कौन सा कितना रहेगा सर?
सर जो एग्जिस्टिंग टाइमिंग है, सर जो अपना एग्जिस्टिंग टाइमिंग है वही टाइमिंग रहेगा।
तो 5:30 बजे का कुछ टाइमिंग?
हाँ, रिलीज जो है ना, अभी हम आई थिंक 8 बजे तक हम लोग रिलीज ले लेंगे।
8 बजे तक आप रिलीज ले लोगे ना? और प्लेज कब तक, रिप्लेस कितना बजे तक मेरे को करना रहेगा?
सर रिप्लेज भी हम लोग वही टाइम पे रेस्ट्रिक्ट करें, क्योंकि बाद में ईओडी भी सब डिले हो जाता है। So preferably just try to do it before the stipulated timings.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Rajesh ji, your question.
7 बजे तक तो try कीजिए, 7 o'clock तक.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, this was one confusion. Since you said that client has pledged shares to us, but we have not repledged it to the ICCL. And you said we can allocate fund to the client to the prop fund, right?
Yes.
So the file that we are uploading, so that file contains value of only cash and cash collateral. So in that value only you have to mention it.
Yes. You cannot allocate non-cash. You can only allocate cash and cash equivalent. तो अगर आपको क्लाइंट ने 100 रुपए का प्लेज किया है शेयर आफ्टर हेयर कट, you can allocate up to 100 rupees cash and cash equivalent.
Okay. So okay, that way. And one more thing, sir, the mail that we have to send for the using the prop entire fund in the prop account, so that has to become from dedicated email ID or we can send it from any email ID. Hello.
It should come from predicate. Which
email ID? Which email ID?
Yeah. So as a practice and for your own this thing, we suggest you try uploading the file. And today, we are releasing a user guide also. We have already given the file format along with proper upload section. All details we have issued in circulars prior to this. And today, for your all members' easy reference, we are releasing a user guide today in which we are giving a sample file also, which you can just see. It is a simple format. You can upload it in your system also.
आप हाथ से बना सकते हो, मतलब if you will like that, you can create by one entry by hand also and upload.
Yeah, so as a practice, you try uploading at your end only rather than sending emails.
If it doesn't work, only then use the email option. But that option is there if that doesn't work.
Hemantji, your question. Hemantji, Vishalji, your question.
मेरा 3 क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली. जो बैलेंस हमको एलोकेशन करना है वो सेटल्ड रहेगा, अनसेटल क्या टिल डेट मार्जिन का बैलेंस रहेगा? हेलो.
No, Vishalji, I don't think I got your question.
सर जो बैलेंस एलोकेशन मतलब अपलोड करना है वो सेटल्ड रहेगा कि अनसेटल भी उसमें मतलब फोर्थकमिंग का बैलेंस अपलोड करना है?
Until आप कर सकते हो अगर आपको कंफर्मेशन मिल चुका है कि ये ऑन द वे है, जैसे पेमेंट गेटवे वगैरह, जैसे जब वी डिस्कस दैट, तो दैट यू कैन देन अलोकेट.
ओके. दूसरा क्वेश्चन सर मेरा ये है कि समझो क्लाइंट ए है और मेरा प्रो अकाउंट दोनों आरआर मोड में चले गए, तो मेरा क्लाइंट बी का भी आरआर मोड में चला जाएगा?
नहीं, क्लाइंट डजंट गो टू आरआर मोड. आपका अगर मेंबर आरआर मोड चला गया तो देन ऑल क्लाइंट्स विल गो टू आरआर मोड.
ओके. और सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज, अब समझो मेरा फ्रेश क्लाइंट ओपन हो गया ड्यूरिंग द डे, उसने फंड ट्रांसफर करके ट्रेड किया, तो मेरे एट द मॉर्निंग तो वो एलोकेशन में नहीं था, तो उसको शॉर्ट मतलब डीम एलोकेशन बोलेंगे कि शॉर्टफॉल बोलेंगे? दोनों हो जाए. इसको पेनल्टी आएगी?
जी अभी नहीं आएगी, लेकिन बाद में आएगी, मतलब सेकंड फेज थर्ड फेज में आएगी.
देन लाइव मार्केट में हम सर कैसे अपडेट करेंगे? देयर इज एनी एपीआई
के थ्रू करना पड़ेगा आपको. जैसे ऑर्डर आता है तो आई थिंक बेसिकली ऑर्डर लेवल पे आपको करना पड़ेगा बिफोर यू कैन सेंड द ऑर्डर टू एक्सचेंज.
So this will not exist through pro account. The account is new.
No, I did not get it. What account is new?
The account is open today. There is no funds available. Client has transferred the fund during the day. Okay, but we are not allocated through API, for example. So it will not exist through from our pro account.
We will adjust, but then there will still be a penalty, sort of penalty in phase 3.
Okay.
Because under phase 3 you are required to allocate before the trade, not after the trade. We will block it. अगर आपने नहीं किया तो we'll block it from your prop account, but there will also be a penalty for short allocation.
Mayurji, your question?
Yeah, I have a question. Thank you for this session. I mean, this is brilliant stuff. So I have just one question. So I have a unique setup in my broking house wherein we have ICCL and then we have NSDL. So the 07, the all concept of marking collateral, stock collaterals, is not compatible with ICCL once you have NSDL as a TP. So is there any provision wherein this interoperability is going to be provided soon to us? Because in this case, even if I mark it as all, it is not getting considered as an allocation.
I was from 2nd May that all if your stocks are pledged with all indicator of NSDL, it would be accepted at our end for inter-segment fungibility.
Okay, Vijayta, are you sure about it? Because we've been trying to get in touch. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you.
Sushilji, your question. Sachin, your question. Sachinji.
Hi. Suppose किसी client ने collateral दिया है as a collateral दिया है for trading purpose, and that collateral is placed with CC. So and the client has not done a trade. In that scenario, it will come under deemed allocation or what?
No, if the client has pledged, if you are replaced to the client share to CC, and if there is enough cash collateral in the prop account, then client can trade. There will be no deemed allocation.
Okay, but 50% cash and non-cash will use for in this scenario, correct?
Yes, but not client level, member level.
Okay.
So client don't have to maintain 50% cash.
Okay, but in this scenario, deemed allocation will
not happen.
Not be applicable, no?
No, not be applicable.
Okay. Thank you.
Sushilji, your question. Varunji, your question, please.
Yes, hi. I joined in a bit late, so I don't know if anybody is this been answered. My question is regarding EPI. So if a client does a sale, I have not allocated anything. Like I have no cash margin of him, and against the sale, now can he purchase? Because EPI हो जाएगा after the end of the day.
No, this question has been answered a few times today. So basically, after you do early pin to clearing corp, and clearing corp has given response file, then you can basically give further exposure to the client for other trades. This is as per the FAQ which has been published by the exchanges for peak market. The same concept applies.
Okay. But on the spot, I can't buy because EPI response file आने में time लगता है.
Correct. You cannot do on the spot. Till that time, it can be only used for the same trade, not for other trades.
Okay. And another question regarding the same was EPI के बाद मेरा 20% margin block रहेगा उसमें कि वो पूरा free हो जाएगा? क्योंकि अभी मेरे को full मिल जाती है margin.
No, पूरा block छूट जाएगा ना वो तो मतलब if you done EPI, then why would clearing corp get any margin? Fully.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Karanji, your question.
Thank you, SPG. It's been repetitive, but Piyushji, in case we try to do it on Friday using file systems, I mean, that is our preference, that we try to do it the best, according to the practice. If it doesn't work, Saturday को mail से हो जाएगा prop allocation कि नहीं होगा?
हो जाएगा
ना, तो Friday हम लोग try करें.
Okay. Because we will try to even give you system on Saturday also to upload this anyway.
Acha, okay. And being a self-clearing member, both exchanges being cleared through ICCL, iska allocation, if I do it on CM prop level or TM prop level, effectively it's the same thing, no? If I'm only SCM.
Yes.
So मेरे को किसमें करना चाहिए? Is there any operational difference in?
No, CM prop is by default CM prop is better because that is the topmost level. अगर आप SCM और TM prop करोगे तो भी same ही है.
ठीक है, okay. SCM, okay, ठीक है. Thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you. Piyush, as we are coming closer, would you like to sum it up and give us some summary to members?
Karanji, आप TM prop में करिए. Actually अगर SCM है ना तो आप TM prop में कर दीजिए.
TM prop में करें, and going ahead also after once things are operationalized properly, also TM prop should be the
yes. उसका
कारण क्या है? मतलब SCM में
उसका कारण ये है कि basically the system exchange developed days is to allow that TM can go into RRM without CM going to RRM. तो यहाँ पे आपका TM भी है, CM भी है, तो आपका TM नहीं तो RRM चला जाएगा, CM will not be in RRM if you don't do any allocation TM prop.
अच्छा, ठीक है. मतलब if you don't do allocation to CM prop, TM prop में करना है.
TM prop में कहाँ? TM prop में करिए. CM prop में and TM prop में करना पड़ेगा आपको, नहीं तो आपको खुद का जो TM है that go into RRM.
नहीं, I'm confused. मैं TM prop को allocate अगर करूँ और in that case the TM prop can go into RRM, correct?
No, it will not go. आप TM prop में करोगे तो ठीक है. CM prop में कर दोगे, TM prop में नहीं रहेगा तो TM prop can go into RRM.
हाँ.
तो आप TM prop में ही करिए allocation.
समझ गया.
ठीक.
Okay. Thank you.
Piyush, as we are coming closer, what would you like to summarize and give a message to our members as this upcoming thing is coming from ICCL?
No, I think one thing I can tell you is that we have the system up and ready for now 3 months, and we just hope that everyone has tested system, and we have also done 2 full market mocks. I think system is, and I think a lot of members are also ready. Ones who are not ready, maybe they can start with this interim solution of doing TM prop allocation. But then slowly and steadily आप थोड़ा करना शुरू कर दीजिए सिस्टम में भी और ये करके भी क्लाइंट एलोकेशन करना शुरू करें. But otherwise, I think system should be able to now stabilize in the next week or so. So maybe from your side also, I don't think you have to worry too much about that.
Great. And Piyush, over this weekend, this thing is going to implement. So some of the members are saying that if they have concerns in terms of anything, where can they reach out to? Email or any helpline has been created by ICCL to support the members?
वही एक जॉब को भी मैंने बताया ना offset@iccindia.com. That email ID you can put if you have any questions, any concerns.
Right.
कोई issue हो रहा हो तो.
Absolutely. So on that note, Piyush, there was a message that some handbook also you guys are coming out. The members are asking, would that be mailed to them, or how it will be there, or where they can download or see that reference guideline Vijeta was talking about?
This piece, we plan to publish it on our website. Okay, and that notification we will intimate via circular to the market.
Wonderful. So members can please note this, and it will be very helpful for the same. Piyush, some final concluding remarks from your side before we close the session?
No, nothing else. I think we covered everything. Something multiple times, but I think we are all good to go now.
Thank you very much. So Piyush, once again, thank you very much for your time and wishing ICCL team the very best. The way yourself, your team, Devika ma'am, Tushabai, and everybody has put in so much of an effort to do it is really very, very appreciative from BBF and the member broking community. And we wish you and your team the very best. Once again, Piyush, thank you very much for your time today, along with your team members, Rowana, Dinkal, Vijeta, Pratiksha, we have Trupti, Tisharbai and Rahul. So thank you very much, and members, thank you for joining once again. You can view this this session on our BBF YouTube channel. Thank you very much for attending today.